Hey guys, I'm Angela and you're watching Hobby Night. This week in Warhammer news, we got some Death Guard previews from Japan that have me incredibly excited because there's some kits out there, as well as we're looking at some fast-selling battle forces for the holiday season from Games Workshop. And finally, there's also a look at what's coming for Q1 for Warhammer Underworlds. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Warhammer news. Let's go ahead and start with the most exciting news for me this week, which is the Death Guard data sheets that we've gotten a look at because of the Japanese release. So we were able to look at both Typhus and the Blight-hauler, and we're gonna start with Typhus because he can move faster now, and I am very excited. So his movement has gotten a +1, so went from 4 inches to now 5 inches. And he's also gotten 2 more attacks, which I think is interesting. It means he's gonna be able to hit better in the game, which is awesome, and I'm really looking forward to that. Now, all we know is we've seen his data line. We don't know anything about his invulnerable save. We haven't seen anything about the destroyer hive yet. That wasn't listed on the data sheet in the kit or anything in the Japanese set. But hopefully we'll see that soon because obviously the Death Guard codex should be coming out in this coming month in December, which I cannot wait for. Oh my gosh. But so we don't know any of that information yet, but right now he's looking beefier, which I really, really like. I expect, just to talk a little bit about, say, his invulnerable save, I expect that's going to change to being a 5+ due to his armor rules, being different in the Space Marine Codex, because he's in Terminator armor and everything like that. So I do think that is going to be interesting, and I want to see what his Blight Grenade is going to do because we haven't seen a separate stat line for that yet either. So there's still some cool stuff coming. We'll see those when the Codex comes out. Now, let's talk about the Blight-hauler because I already really love Blight-haulers. I ran them in my list in 8th edition. I usually ran 3 of them because I liked being able to do their tri-lobe ability and everything like that. But I don't know if that's going to still be valid or anything in this new set, but what we have learned about our Blight-hauler is its ballistic skill and its weapon skill have both gone to a 3+, which is fantastic. It's unknown, like I said, if the tri-lobe +1 to hit buff will still work with this, or if it's still going to be a thing, so we'll see because we don't know yet. But regardless of that, they're getting a 33% increase to hit, to their hit rate, which is fantastic. I am so excited for that. Plus, the melta shots are doubled, which is great. The multi-melta does not have the blast keyword anymore, so they can just fire into melee, which is great. You can just drive them in, fire, and on top of that, they've also gotten an additional wound, so they're a bit tougher, or they can last a little bit longer, and they've also gone up 1 in, I think, a melee attack. So with a +1 to hit, they can do melee stuff now, which, I mean, they already could, but it's even better. Their shooting's better. I am so hyped for this mini. I'm definitely going to be painting up the 3rd one soon. I've kind of been putting it off because I was wanting to see exactly what was coming out for the Death Guard. And with this information, with the fact that we've seen that data sheet now, I am just so excited. I cannot wait for whenever that book comes out because I really want to get my hands on it and actually see what we're getting. I'm so hyped. I hope you guys are too. Let's move on to the next thing though. Oh, hey, didn't see you guys there. Well, while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Next, for some news for all of you holiday shoppers, the Battleforce boxes that GW have been previewing for a little while appear to have already sold completely out in the UK, and honestly, it's unclear if they're sold out in the US yet. I know that there has been some extreme heavy allocation going out to friendly local game stores and stuff, where some of them are only getting 1 of each box and everything, which just feels insane. But considering the fact that there's a pandemic and there has been a lot of off and on people going back into lockdown and back out of lockdown, and just, I'm gonna be honest, from experience being somebody who buys professionally toys for a game store, or board games and toys for a game store, there's a shortage on a lot of things out there. So if you got one of these boxes, I hope you are enjoying it, and I hope that it is for you and you're not just trying to resell it because not part of the holiday season and everything. But if you weren't hopefully they'll reprint them, honestly. Like, I just imagine that there are shortages for a lot of reasons, one mostly being the pandemic and everything, but I'm sure there's a myriad of reasons, and while it is very unfortunate, there are still a lot of other really great kits out there for GW. They maybe should try to at least produce, I don't know, I don't want to blame them for anything because I don't know the actual circumstances of why there's the shortage, but it does feel really like, I'm bummed, at least, because I like to get a number of these boxes every year. I've done it in the past and everything. It's a great way to start collecting new armies, and this year I'm definitely holding off because there is such a shortage, and I have plenty of other things to paint and everything. But let me know what you guys are feeling about the shortages on the boxes. I know a lot of people are really bummed. I know a lot of people in England especially are very upset that it's already completely gone, especially the Space Marine and Necron one. I know those two were the ones that people were really, really hyped for the most. I think the Tzeentch one from the Age of Sigmar as well was one of the really hot ones that's completely gone in the UK already from my understanding. But it is unfortunate, but that is kind of the way that it happens sometimes. I can definitely tell you the Pokemon people in the world are feeling our pain right now because, like I said, I'm a buyer for a store and I can't keep Pokemon on my shelves to save my life right now. So I really feel all of these things that everybody's just upset about with not having the things that they want, especially going into this holiday season. But there's other things out there, so make sure that when you can, you're supporting your friendly local game stores and go and pick something else up. There's a lot of the, honestly, Indomitus I think is still around. I know at least the game store that I work for, Games of Berkeley, still has Indomitus available. So if you were wanting to get that and you're in the US, we have some around for the holiday season and everything. And we actually have a number of the older sets as well from last year still around. So might be a good way to grab some of those, at least if you're in the US, because that's where they do shipping. But regardless, that has been it for the battle forces. Let's go ahead now and talk about some Warcry. Last but not least this week, we got a look at what's coming for Q1 in 2021 for Warhammer Underworlds. As we kind of got a look last week, we know what's coming in January, which is going to be Chaos, which is I mispronounced it last time. I'm mispronouncing it again this time. Khagra's Reavers. Khagra. Yes, I believe that is correct. So we know that they're coming in January. For February, we are getting some skinks, and we've got the Starblood Stalkers, which is really cool. It's got that little chameleon guy that we got the preview for a little while ago. So that looks really awesome. Honestly, I might get that kit just for the chameleon. It's very cute. Now, for March, we have a couple, well actually for the next couple of months, we have some symbols that they've shown us to sort of give a hint of what's coming. And I'm not 100% sure what they are, so I'm gonna take this time now to speculate a little bit. So, for the one that is coming in March, to me, if you look at the logo, like at the emblem, it is an adorable, majestic bat face. That is evil. And he just is so gosh darn, so cute. But I think that might mean that maybe we're going to be seeing some vampire counts or something like that. Maybe something in that regard of like, I don't know, the silhouette doesn't quite look like a vampiress. She's got some weird hair that I've not really seen GW do for vampire counts at all. But that's really what I'm feeling based off the logo. Alternatively, maybe it could be a dark elf corsair. That could also be an option, but they did just have the Daughters of Cain recently, so I don't know if they're gonna be going back to the Drukhari so quickly. But who knows, maybe that is what it is. Regardless, I really like what we've seen, because I think we've gotten a preview of the sword that the model has, and then we've seen the silhouette. So it looks really cool. I'm very excited to see what the actual box is gonna be. But let's move on now to what we saw for April. So for April, it's that green symbol, and honestly, I think it's one of potentially two things. Either it could be Flesh Eater Courts, but if the month previous does in fact end up being something for vampires, I don't know if they're gonna follow it up with more vampire stuff. So my alternative thought for what it might be would be maybe some feral orcs, because we've had some other type of orc kits for Warhammer Underworlds in the past, but I don't know if there's been any feral orc kits. So that's my expectation for that one. May, I think, is probably the most identifiable. I definitely think it might be OCR Bone Reapers based off of the logo design and everything. And then June, I also think is pretty self-explanatory. It looks to me like it's probably the Idolith Deepkin. Idolith Deepkin? Yeah, the Sea Elves. So I think those are gonna be the two next kits as well, which honestly, All of those have me hyped. I definitely like picking up the Warhammer Underworlds kits just to have some unique models to play around with and do some like kit bashing and stuff, let alone just to have some fun and interesting little projects to paint. So I'm really excited for each of these that's coming up. I am definitely probably going to be picking up one of each and maybe even doing an unboxing or something. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know down below. But in the meantime, let me know what you think those symbols might be representing. And if you guys are a Warhammer Underworlds player, let me know which one you're most excited for. Now, before I sign off and tell you to, like, subscribe and all of that jazz, I also want to remind you guys to check out Monday's video because it's going to be a very special one. I'm having a painting challenge. And for this painting challenge, I'm going to be painting one mini in 2 hours, a second mini in 20 minutes, and then a third mini in 2 minutes. Wish me luck. Make sure to check out the video and see how I do and see if I'm able to succeed and exactly how they turn out. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. I have been Angela. You've been watching Hobby Night. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make sure to hit that bell icon for notifications. See you guys.